Are you ready to learn life-changing strategies on how to bully-proof yourself, your kids, and others? Are you ready to be empowered with hope, faith, and confidence to believe in yourself, to overcome your fears and battle through your challenges, to stand up to any bully you face, both real and in your mind? Well, you've come to the right place. Greetings, everyone. Master Grogan here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Wow. How do you like that intro, baby? Is that good or what? Woohoo! That gets you fired up, doesn't it? Well, that's our brand new intro for the Grogan's Bully-Proof podcast. And for our first-time listeners, thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy day to join us. And for our repeat listeners, thank you, as always, for coming back for more and more and more. Now, I got to tell you, I've been a little inconsistent with the podcast, and I sincerely apologize for that. No excuse is a good excuse, so I'm not going to bore you or throw one at you. I'm just going to let you know that we've been had a lot going on here. We got a new book released, I Believe in Me, Positive Affirmations, or A through Z Positive Affirmations. The name of the book is I Believe in Me. It's a little kid's book for ages 3 to 6 or 7, but of course, adults can read it too. It teaches the kids the ABCs, along with a positive affirmation to go along with each letter. And the goal is to empower them to plant those positive seeds in their little mental gardens. So not if, but when some kid comes along and tries to steal their thunder, steal their joy, steal their empowered awesomeness that they are, well, they're already empowered because they've got the affirmations. They got the right seeds growing in that mental garden. So check it out. It's on our website, grogansbullyproof.com, and pick up a copy. And if you love it, which I hope you will, leave that 5-star review. Well, today we're coming at you. This is episode number 324, and it's the weekend challenge of the kind of Feel Good Friday weekend bully-proof tip. And what are we talking about? This is a short one, folks. So you're going to have this one wrapped up in 10 to 12 minutes. But as always, please share this with someone you know could benefit as soon as you're done listening to it, and maybe listen to it a couple times. It's a short one here. And what we're talking about is this weekend, I'm going to challenge you to live by the 4 agreements. Now, you might be saying, what in the heck? What's the 4 agreements? Well, the 4 agreements is actually one of my favorite books. It's definitely in the top 5, and it's probably a book I've read, if not more than any other book. It's definitely up there. I've listened to it countless times, and I've read it and highlighted it just more times than I can remember. But it's a great book written by Don Miguel Ruiz. Easy read, short, little, simple book, but very, very powerful. And the reason this kind of popped in my head is my brother-in-law, the golf pro Noah, shout out to him, who listens all the time. He's fantastic. He's always asking me, hey, man, there's some books you can recommend and for different, we've all got our struggles, right? For different challenges he may be going through. And I listed a few new ones that I'm reading and listening to on Audible. And then it dawned on me, like, you know what? I think right now, because he's got a gazillion things going on as always, and he's a heck of an instructor. He's here in Florida at a country club in Clearwater. So if you're in the neighborhood here in Florida and he needs some golf lessons, hit him up. His name's Noah Vineyard, and he's what is his Noah PGA Golf? I think it's what it is. So anyway, I probably should have prepared that and wrote that down to make sure I got the right what do you call it? Social media channels. But anyway, that's not what the show is about. The show is about you living by the 4 agreements. But I'd mentioned it to him, the book, and then in our mastermind group, it came up twice. And I'm like, holy cow, I need to share this with the listeners. So that's what I'm doing. And the 4 agreements, basically what they are, number 1 is be impeccable with your word. Now, what does that mean? Be impeccable with your word. Well, it means if you say you're going to do something, then gosh darn it, do it. Be impeccable with your word, because every time we commit to doing something or we say we're going to do something, and we a lot of times we say those things, it's nighttime, right? Or we just went to a conference, or maybe we just listened to this podcast or an empowering podcast, and you're like, man, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take action. I'm really going to make the change. And truthfully, you believe in your heart and want to do that. But the worst thing happens is the next morning, and you get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life and thinking, man, I am so busy. I got so much going on. You know what? I'll do it tomorrow. And listen, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm plenty guilty of saying and doing that very thing many, many times. But the number 1 agreement on the 4 agreements is be impeccable with your word. And that's a big challenge right there. I'm going to give you all 4 of them. We could probably just work on that one this weekend, and that would be enough, right? Just if you say you're going to do it, gosh darn it, do it. If you say you're going to go to bed early on Friday night, then tonight, go to bed early. If you say you're going to get up early on Saturday morning, then do it. If you say you're going to go to the gym, you're going to go for a walk, or you say you're going to go to church, maybe you haven't been to church in a while, and you say you're going to do it, well, the next morning, be impeccable with your word and actually do what you say you're going to do. Why? Well, every time you are impeccable with your word, you're conditioning your mind to think, all right, well, you said you're going to do it and you did it. I believe in you. I believe you're really going to do it this time. But every time you don't, you let yourself down. Well, then your mind says, oh, well, that's just another false promise. Doesn't matter what you say. I know you're not going to do it. Are you guilty of that? Raise your hand. Yeah, I'm raising my hand. If you're watching the live stream here, you see me because I've done it. But I know it gets like there's an old saying: the first excuse is extremely tough. After that, it gets easier and easier and easier because you kind of used to letting yourself down. Wow, is that a right hook of reality? Bang! That's a jack. That's a pop in the chops. Say, hey man, it's supposed to be Feel Good Friday. What are you popping me in the chops for? That's a right hook of reality. I want you to be impeccable with your word. And guess what? Since I'm talking about it, guess what it's going to challenge me to do? Be impeccable with my word. Yeah. Holy smokes. Well, I'm actually traveling this weekend. I'm heading back to Illinois. Those that are unaware, we sold our martial arts academy after nearly 30 years. We sold it to our head instructor, Master Nathan Wilkening, great young man, and he's going to do amazing things with it. And the reason we sold it was he was chomping at the bit, ready to go. And, we had mentioned if he was interested at some point in time, we would sell it to him. I'd expected it was going to be 2 or 3 or 4 years, but he wanted to take that leap of faith early, and I respect him for that. So being impeccable with my word, I said it, I couldn't back out. It's the right thing to do. How do you like that? So this weekend, I'm actually going back. I'm going to do some specialty clinics and then also be with him for his first black belt testing kind of on his own there. So I'm very grateful and honored that he asked me to come back. I'm also going to be there for a ribbon cutting. And so if you're in Southern Illinois in the Edwardsville area on Friday, I guess when this airs, I'll be in Illinois Friday night. We're doing a ribbon cutting at the Martial Arts Academy. And then Saturday, I'm doing some specialty clinics. And then the black belt testing after that. And if you're not, no big deal. If you're listening to this a little bit later, the content's still good, even though I'm mentioning a few dates. It's all about whenever. I call it the weekend challenge because it airs on Friday, but think of it as the week challenge, if you will, or the daily challenge. And that is number one, be impeccable with your word. Now, like I mentioned, I'm going to give you all 4 of these. But as I'm talking here, I'm thinking, my gosh, I could break this down into 4 Feel Good Fridays. But I'm going to give it to you all at once. And then maybe at a later time, we'll break them down individually and talk a little bit more about each one. Number 2, don't take anything personally. Don't take anything personally. Wow. Now, is that easy to do? No, if anything, that's more difficult than be impeccable with your word, right? Holy smokes. Don't take anything personally. Boy, as I'm saying that out loud into the microphone here, I'm thinking, my head's spinning. When's the last time I took something personally? Probably about an hour ago. But so I'm repeating these to you as a reminder to me. That's why I talk about these things the most. Hopefully you get content, you get value, you get something out of it. But also it's a gosh darn good reminder to myself. Yeah, because I need it too. Why? I'm a human being just like you. I just have the gift of gab and enjoy talking behind the microphone, on camera, and in front of people. But yeah, don't take things personally. And I tell you, the more you put yourself out there, the more personal attacks that you're gonna succumb to. I mean, they're gonna be out there. However, if you don't take it personally, it's no longer a personal attack. Think about this: the way someone treats you is not a reflection of you; it's a reflection of who they are. So they outpour that, like bullying. When someone bullies somebody, it's nothing usually about you at all. It's just about their insecurities and how they feel about themselves. So if you think about it, when you take things personally, you're actually allowing the bully to bully you, and then you're bullying yourself. Holy smokes. And you may say, well, what about if they call me this, or they get personal and dive in deep? And hey, look, people are going to say and do mean things. That's just how it is. You've heard, if you've been listening for a while, firm believers that we're never going to stop bullying. Now, for our new listeners, you might be saying, what the heck, dude? You're talking about this bully proof stuff. You're telling me we're never stopping bullying? Well, we're not. Why? It's been around since Cain and Abel. I wasn't around then, and Cain and Abel didn't have social media. We got social media now, so it's out of control. But if you abide by the first 2 principles, be impeccable with your word. So if you say, look, I'm not going to spend much time this weekend on social media, that's, well, you don't have to worry about taking anything personally, because on social media, there's nothing there. But if you do spend time on social media, don't take things personally. Or if you go to a ball game or you go to an event with your kids and someone's rude or mean or disrespectful, don't take it personally. It has nothing to do with you. Easy for me to say. Yeah. I mean, so here's I don't know if it's the best example or not, but right now we're going through our second hurricane since we've been here. Now it came through on the east side, so it's like a tropical storm now, but the winds were pretty powerful. And we went through Hurricane Ian not too terribly long ago, and that was a Category 5. Woo! Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you because the hurricane didn't have a personal vendetta against Florida. Florida just happened to be in the path of the storm. So a lot of times when people are rude, mean, and disrespectful, it's not a personal vendetta against you. You just happen to be in the storm, the path of the storm. So if you think of that analogy, it would be a little bit easier to not take things personally. Good, good, good. All right, moving on. Number three is don't make assumptions. Assumptions. Now you think if you've ever assumed, and if you've ever been shown, or maybe you've shown somebody what the word assume means when you break it down. And if you don't know, write out the word assume. Of course, if you're driving, just kind of get a mental picture. And then maybe when you get to a spot, you can stop and write it out on a piece of paper. Assume, ASSUME. After you write it out, after ASS, draw a line to kind of break up the S from the U. The next word or letter is U. And then after the U, draw another line down. So now you got 3 words. Assume, broken up. When anytime we assume, we make a ASS out of you and me. Think about that for a minute. Yeah, but you never assume again, huh? Because obviously assumption is, oh my gosh, it's the mother jammer of all mess ups. Can you think about it? So don't make assumptions. And how do we make assumptions? We often make assumptions on how we think somebody else is feeling based on how they act, how they talk, or what they say or do. Don't make assumptions. We don't know what that person's going through. And once again, I'm not condoning any type of disrespectful behavior whatsoever. Don't take it personally, but then don't assume you know what's going on in their life. Now, with that being said, once again, you should never allow anyone to disrespect you. That's a whole different thing. They're rude, mean, disrespectful. The ABCs of becoming bullyproof. The A is awareness of that, and then avoid it. Just stay away from those people. No. And then, of course, the B, the believe in yourself with the bullyproof armor, that'll help out with the don't take anything personally and don't make assumptions because you believe in yourself. Cool, cool, cool. All right, moving forward here. And like I mentioned, we could probably spend a whole podcast on each individual agreement here because there's 4 of them. And we've already covered. Number 1, be impeccable with your word. Number 2, don't take anything personally. And number 3, don't make assumptions. And those you may have learned something, what the word assume actually, when you break it down, means. Good, good, good. And the last one, number 4, always do your best. Always do your best, regardless what it is. Commit to yourself to always putting forth and doing your very, 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 very best, especially at things you don't want to do. Why? Because you're conditioning yourself. You're building that habit, that pattern of regardless what it is, I'm going to do my best because that's what I want to, the seeds I want to plant in my mental garden. Always do your best. Always do your best at being impeccable with your word. You say you're going to do it, do it. Always do your best with not taking things personally. Once again, I know this isn't easy. I mean, I still struggle with this. That's why I talk about it, because it's areas I could improve on. But it's just like I talk to athletes or the students I'm working with and coach, my own kids. The reason I share these things is because I've been on both sides. And I know when, I guess, the mistakes I've made, I want to help you avoid some of those mistakes. Now, you're going to make plenty of your own. And I tell them this message, I tell my kids all the time, look, you're going to screw up, you're going to goof up, but at least be an original. Don't make the same mistakes I made. Come on, you're better than that. But don't go too crazy either. With that being said, whoa, pump the brakes a little bit here. But anyway, always do your best of not taking things personally. Always do your best and not making assumptions. And always do your best at being you. You are one, and there's roughly, it's getting close to 8 billion people on this planet. But there's only one you, baby. Only one unique God-given you. Be that you and do the best you can at everything you do. And something I tell the kids all the time is especially the things you don't want to do. I grew up on a farm and I absolutely hated shoveling horse poop. I mean, I can't imagine anybody enjoying that. And I tried to make fun games out of it. What I would do is I'd have the wheelbarrow further and further away and try and shovel and throw the poo into the wheelbarrow from great distances just to have fun. And most of the time it caused double the work because I had to scoop up what I missed. But I hated it, man. It was stinky. It was smelly. It was, ugh. But I had to do my best. Why? Because Dad conditioned me. If I didn't do my best, I'd have to do it over again. And what's worse than doing something you don't like one time? Doing it twice. Yeah, so you hate doing it one time, man. Do it. Make sure you do it right so you don't have to repeat it. How's that sound? I mean, think about that at work. Things you don't like to do. You don't like to do it once. My gosh, you definitely don't want to do it a second time. Pass that on to your kids too. If they get in a habit of kind of half-button doing things like maybe cleaning the room or making their bed or doing their homework, share that with them. I know you hate it, but if you hate it once, you're going to really hate doing it again. So make sure you do it right the first time. So what do you think? There's the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your very, very best. How's that for a weekend challenge? Think you can handle that? You know what? Since I talked about it, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my best at getting up early, do my best to get in the airport on time for my trip, and do my best to bring out my best so I can bring out the best in others. Good. All right. Well, reach out to me. Let me know how you've done after the weekend or the week challenge. Whenever you're able to listen to this thing, visit us on our social media channels, Grogan's Bully Proof. And of course, check out our website. And if you haven't bought our books yet, Becoming Bully Proof and I Believe in Me, they're available on Amazon, or you can buy them right from our website. We actually transferred to Amazon, but it's what is our website? www.grogansbullyproof.com. Check that out. And of course, if you love this podcast, make sure you give us a 5-star review. That'll help drive us higher in the search engines. And of course, don't forget the 5-star reviews for the books. That's what helps move the algorithms and gets the book higher in the search engines for other people to find it, which will help empower more people to not only read the book, but help them become bully proof, which is going to make our society a happier, healthier, and safer place to live. All right, folks. Well, thank you so very much. If you found value in this message, please share it with someone else. And we're going to be a little more consistent about getting these podcasts rocking and rolling on a more consistent basis as we're working on getting those things done. Our wall's done. So if you've not seen our new Bully Proof wall, and make sure you jump on our YouTube channel. I just filmed a couple videos that'll air. They'll definitely be up by the time you jump over there. And that's YouTube, whatever it is, youtube.com/Grogan's Bully Proof. You can check that baby out as well. All right, folks. I love you. God loves you. Please share that love with the world. I wish you the very best this weekend. And until we talk again, you get out there and do your best. And I promise you'll be your very best. You'll become bully proof, and you'll live your best kick in life. God bless everybody. Chat with you real soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much for listening in today. I am truly grateful for your time. My goal is to empower 10 million people with hope, faith, and confidence to believe in themselves to become bully-proof. But I can't do it alone. So if you found value in this message, please share it with someone else who could benefit from it, and by subscribing and leaving a 5-star review. Remember to stay empowered throughout the week by visiting our social media channels, Grogan's Bully Proof, and our website, grogansbullyproof.com. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to pick up copies of all our Bully Proof books for yourself and someone you care about. Thank you again, and make it a blessed day.